Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Robi Sohri Sotri, Wayasili Amri, Wadata Milisani Afqali. Alhamdulillah, very good afternoon to our distinguished speakers, colleagues, and all participants here. My name is Lisa, and in this session, it is my pleasure to serve as your moderator for today's webinar. On behalf of WaCID, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this special event. As we celebrate it is 8th anniversary of Waqf Center for Indonesian Development and Studies as one of the research think tank in Waqf area. And today, it is our pleasure to host international webinar. Actually, this is our fifth international webinar with the title The Future of Waqf, Innovation, Sustainability, and Global Best Practices. And Alhamdulillah, joining with us, Dr. Sami Al-Salahat, the founder and managing director of the International Institute of Islamic Waqf, who will share his valuable insight on current Waqf practices, innovation, and future development from a global perspective. But before we begin to the main sessions, we also having privilege to have a welcoming remark from Professor Dr. Raditya Sukmana, advisor of WaCID and also Professor of Islamic Economics at the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Airlangga. So without further ado, I will give the floor to Prof. Raditya for the welcoming remark.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us thank to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and salawat and salam let us send also to Prophet Rasulullah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for coming, Dr. Sami Al-Salahat. And just to inform you that WaCID is a think tank, as Lisa mentioned. We are doing more on research. We develop researchers on Waqf to get published. We create researcher also for seminars, attending the seminar as a presenter. We also advise the Ministry of Religion in Indonesia. We also advise Waqf on the Nazir in Indonesia, because we believe that Waqf is important in contributing the economic and social in Indonesia. I've seen your CV, Dr. Sami, and I think we have things in common. We are graduate from the same university, IUM, but I was in the camps, just like Lisa. Lisa is also from IUM. Alhamdulillah, but I finished in 2010 in economics. And yeah, looking at your institutions, International Institute of Islamic Waqf, and I look at what are you doing with that institutions, I think again we have the same comment that we can work together. We advise the Waqf. We are telling the Nazir that don't waste the assets of Waqf that has been given by the Waqif, yeah, because when we optimize the Waqf idle land or Waqf idle assets, when we optimize, then we are giving benefit so much to the community. Because one of the reasons why the price of the basic needs in Indonesia, just for example, like meats and also rice and things like that, we can help the people to have those kind of basic need in lower price only if we can optimize the Waqf land. Many Waqf land are idle right now. If we optimize those idle Waqf land into a productive, we put a certain idle Waqf land for the paddy field. Another idle Waqf land we optimize for the farming. And if we grow all the idle Waqf land, as we are in the economics, the supply curve will go into the right and the price of the equilibrium will go down. So the people will able to buy the basic needs in a much lower price. And at the same time, we are helping the government, because I remember one of the statement sentences that has been written by Prof. Murat from Turkey. He mentioned that if you want to help the government optimize the Waqf, if you want to help the government in avoiding riba, then optimize the Waqf. Because once we optimize the Waqf, then it creates the initial deficit budget into the surplus budget, so the government no need to borrow funds or loans from overseas, which always in the form of riba. So when the people are contributing more on the Waqf, then at the same time it will help the government. So that's why let's discuss how our thought on Waqf, how our thinking on Waqf can contribute to the problems that has been faced right now by the government. So enjoy the seminar. I believe we are very interesting. We are very interested to listen to the Dr. Sami. So that's it. That's my short welcoming speech. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Prof. Raditya Sukmana, for the welcoming remarks. And now I will introduce our speaker today, Dr. Sami Salahat. As mentioned, we three altogether alumni from IIUM, yes. And Alhamdulillah, we are also like having same interest on Waqf. Let me introduce a little bit, very long CV, mashallah. Dr. Sami Salahat is a holder of the degree of Ph.D. and MA in Islamic Law and Legal Policy from IIUM, International Islamic University, Malaysia. He is the founder of International Institute of Islamic Waqf, and he already published more than 50 books, research, book review, and other. And I think one of the most important publications that he published with his institute, the strategic report on Awqaf, that he will share later on with us. So without further ado, I will welcoming Dr. Sami Salahat to share with us. Please, the floor is yours, Dr. Sami.
Yes, thank you, sister. طيب. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. First of all, I would like to thank you for your invitation, and also I wish your institute will give a good benefit to our brother in Indonesia. And also I would like to thank Dr. My colleague from the same place we graduate in Malaysia, International Islamic University in Malaysia. I believe strongly this university really a good place to share us a good benefit for the Muslim world. So I wish, inshallah, this institute, IIIW, International Institute of Islamic Waqf, will give a good thing to the Muslim world, especially in the Awqaf industry. First of all, as you said about the title, about the Waqf. Today, Awqaf, of the concept of Awqaf, not like before 30 years. Today, many Muslims, especially individual or institutes, looking to the concept of Awqaf in a good way, not like before. Before, actually, we can say we have bad image of Awqaf concept for many Muslims because they don't understand the reality of Awqaf. Today, after in 1996, especially after the Kuwait, what? You hear me? Sorry. Hello.
Yes, it is clear.
Yes. After Kuwait hold the Awqaf files in the Muslim world, they gave us a good chance to spread the reality of Awqaf. Today, if I try to give what can I say, the future of Awqaf, especially in after 1996, we established to write official report, a strategic report of Awqaf, and we discovered that we can help Muslims to understand the reality of Awqaf, where the Awqaf can move fast, and where the difficulty of Awqaf to improve. In this way, actually, we established IIIW in 2008 in Malaysia, and we already moved in Turkey and in Saudi Arabia, and we tried our best to collect good things of Awqaf, especially in the reality of Awqaf, in the Islamic issue, or in rules, or even in the governance, because we believe strongly we have corruption in the public Awqaf, I mean the government Awqaf. Not in everywhere, but in fact, we found many things bad when some Muslims practice Awqaf issue in their country or in their society. If I want to talk about the title of this subject of this presentation, I don't know if you see the sharing. Is it clear sharing in your site?
The new slide?
Yes. It's clear?
Yes.
Okay.
But it is not yet full screen in my site.
Okay. In this way.
Yes. No, it is full screen already.
So I will try my best to give you, inshallah, in 15 minutes, the summary about my point. First of all, since 2008 until today, we try to move in everywhere in the Muslim world to collect good things, to get a good practice of Awqaf through the government, especially in Awqaf, public Awqaf, which under the government authority, or sometimes we go to see the Awqaf private Awqaf, which we call Awqaf al-Khassa, which belongs to the Muslim or to the society. So we try to find the best example, best practice in Awqaf in the Muslim world. Okay, to summary my lecture, I'm going to try to find some trends or transformation in the Muslim world and the image of Awqaf during 2025. In fact, we tried to study this one through the strategic report for Awqaf. We did 3 editions. We start 2021, the first one, and we start the second one, 2023, and the last report we did in 2025, and last year. And we study the reality of Awqaf in any Muslim society or any Islamic country. We're looking to find 3 elements, very important. First of all, about how they manage the asset of Awqaf and the revenues. And second, about how the management of the administration of Awqaf, how they deal with the rules and the establishment and the growth of Awqaf management in this country. We have to study in any Muslim country or any Muslim society these elements. Therefore, after we study in 2025, after we study 76 countries, especially I can say majority of Islamic country, around 85, and other in the Muslim society in the world, I mean minorities, like in New Zealand, in UK, in Denmark, for the Muslim who stay in this country, they stay with non-Muslim and they are minority. So we study 76 countries. After we study this one, we discover and we put the standard of classification of Awqaf institutional performance. And we found these 10 elements is very important for any Muslim society in the world. So therefore, any Muslim society use awqaf. I mean awqaf, Muslim, Islamic awqaf, not endowment or not trust. I'm looking for the Muslim concept, which called waqf. So any Muslim society deal with awqaf needs exactly these elements. First, governance. Second, stability. Third, human resource. Fourth, law. Five, about the strategic plan. And six, about the financial resource. And seven, independence of Waqf management. And eight, about the size of Waqf assets. يعني I can't consider Waqf in Pakistan like Waqf in Kuwait, or Waqf in Indonesia like Waqf in Singapore. And also about the investment, and also the last one about registration of awqaf, and this is very important. So these elements, we put it under the standard of classification of Waqf institutional performance. Therefore, when we start at 21, 23, 25, when we wrote the report, this report, strategic report for awqaf, we found these elements, 10 elements, stand, not move. In the same time, the country move, but these elements is stand, cannot change. After we wrote the first one and second one and third one of the strategic report, we found the first, or the very important for this element, the governance. Governance, if we found governance in awqaf practice, we found a good practice of awqaf in the investment and management. But when we found this element, governance, absent, we can find corruption very well. And therefore, we believe strongly any Muslim country nowadays, even in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Saudi Arabia, in Morocco, in anywhere, in Turkey, if they don't practice governance and compliance, risk management, if they don't use this element very well, it means I can't say this good practice. Therefore, many Muslims, especially after or before 10 years ago, they are going very well to concern about the governance in their practice, in the rules, in the investment, and so on. And second point about, as I will talk later, inshallah, about the other elements. So when we go to the governance, I found many Muslims try to practice the governance in their awqaf management, investment, and I can say Morocco, Indonesia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, and Oman. If you ask me why I select these countries among from 76 countries, I can say one of them, I can say most of these countries issue and the public or the annual report of the awqaf management and investment every year. In Morocco, the issue, I think in Indonesia, the awqaf in Indonesia, I think the issue, the annual report, if I'm not mistaken, I read one of them. In Turkey, in Saudi Arabia, less. In Jordan, also less. But here I have to show something. From 76 countries, we can find only a few, I mean 6 countries in the Muslim world issue the annual report, financial report, not achievement report. Because some people make mistake when he want to share the annual report, he consider only, or he concerned only about the achievement, and this is not right. You have to show to everyone about annual financial report, because the Muslim or stakeholders need to understand the fact of your performance. I can't say I gain, but in the same time, I keep or I hide the loss. Therefore, we have to understand anywhere financial report should be very important for Muslim or for the stakeholders. So this is one we select every 2 years, the governance of the about the governance in principles in practice in Muslim world. Second, about the stability. Stability is very important because when we found stability, no war, no fight, we can find the Waqf grow very fast. Like Malaysia, Morocco, Emirates, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Kuwait, all these, we can say under the stability in the society, in the country, we can find a good way from Awqaf to improve. I give you example in Gaza in 2005. Gaza, in fact, this is city in Palestine. Gaza in the last war, in the last war, 23, 24, 25, lost around 500 millions. The Awqaf sector in Gaza lost around half billion US dollar because what happened in Gaza during 2 years ago. So therefore, everything destroyed by the Israeli authority. So we can say stability is very important for the Awqaf sector to improve very well. Third, about the rules, and this is very important. Rules or legislation very important for Awqaf foundation to improve very well. Therefore, we can find some Muslim countries consider and change every 2 years, 3 years, changing the rules because these countries believe strongly if we change the rules very well, we can give a good support for Awqaf Institute to work very well. Therefore, in Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Turkey, Algeria, Jordan, Emirates, Oman, Qatar, these countries, everywhere or every time they change their rules of Awqaf and give more support for the Awqaf institution in their country. Also about the human resource. Human resource is very important. When I say human resource, we cannot consider Awqaf foundation without training, without understanding very well of the human resource. Therefore, these countries take care about the human resource who work in Awqaf sector, like Kuwait, Singapore, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Algeria, Oman, Senegal. Also, about the financial resource. Financial resource, how can we collect support from the government, from the private sector to get funding for Awqaf project. We found a good example in this way, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Kuwait. And for example, in Turkey, they have bank, which we call Waqf Kaltam Bank in Turkey. This is a Waqf established by the VGM. VGM, it means the Waqfi General Director of Awqaf, which belongs to the government. This director established Waqf only addresses for Awqaf project. And this is a good way in this funding of Awqaf project in Turkey, Kuwait, Qatar, Emirates, Singapore, Jordan, Bahrain. Therefore, I said why we select Turkey, because Turkey, as I said, they have special bank established by government, and 100% belongs to the Waqfi director officer in Ankara. And this is a good example, Waqf Bank. When we go also about the standard of independence of Awqaf management, we found many Muslim countries, especially in 1993. Since 1993, many government, Muslim government, understand the importance of Awqaf. Therefore, they take the Waqf file from the Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs, and they establish Waqf foundation alone. Therefore, many Muslim or many government establish Awqaf alone, independence institute, just consider and concerning about Awqaf, nothing else. Islamic Affairs take care about the tadris or tahfiz. This is other way. Just take care about the Waqf management and the Waqf institute. Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, Algeria, Senegal, every these country already move Awqaf as the independence institute. Also, asset size of Awqaf. As you believe, if we have a huge resource of Awqaf, I can do a good rule in the society. Therefore, for example, in Saudi Arabia and Turkey, especially these countries, Saudi Arabia and Turkey, they allowed for Muslims, common Muslims, for the individual to establish their own waqf and give him support. In Saudi Arabia, the private waqf, many more than public awqaf, which under the authority of government. In Turkey, hello. In Turkey, the same thing. So the size of Awqaf helped this country to improve. But to be honest with you, some Muslim country, I'm sorry to say that, they have a huge resource of Awqaf, but really the income is very bad, very low. And that's why we say this country should restart the system of Awqaf again. Also about the investment working, also we found a good example in the Muslim world take care about the investment in their country, in the Awqaf sector like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Kuwait. Also this country gave a good result of financial. And also about registration. Registration, I can say this is a critical point for Awqaf issue in the Muslim world. We have found many problems, really problems in registration of Awqaf. Therefore, some Muslim countries overcame this problem, like Turkey, Oman, Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, Malaysia, Singapore, Jordan, Egypt. They try to collect their own registration and their own Awqaf and try to register this one under the government. Therefore, after we finish, we found 3 categories. First category, they have a good example, a good practice in the Muslim world, and we found many Muslim countries gave a good example. In 24, 25, we found around 17 countries like Jordan, Emirates, Indonesia, Pakistan, Bahrain, Turkey, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and Oman, and Qatar, and Kuwait, and Malaysia, Egypt, Morocco, India, and Algeria. And the best example in 2025, I can say Saudi Arabia is the best, and also Turkey, and Kuwait, Qatar, Malaysia, Indonesia tried to move very well in the last years ago. So this is the first category. We consider the financial report of these countries. As you see, only 17 countries among the world. And also the second category, which we collect from 4 to 7 degree, we found many, around maybe 20, 26 countries. They collect the second category, depends to their efforts and their and the last category also we found 16 countries also. Okay. I give you example in South Asia. Now we're talking about Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Thailand, Singapore, and Philippines. As you see, Malaysia and Indonesia is a good example in South Asia. As I said before, we take the 10 elements of these experience in Malaysia or Indonesia or Brunei. We found Malaysia is the best in South Asia, very close to Indonesia, very close to Malaysia. And also we found for non-Muslim like Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, we found also Singapore is the best example in the Muslim minorities in this regime. If you found, if we're looking to see the performance of Islamic countries, we found based on the B standards, we found the result of the region. The best example will be in Gulf area, which got 70 point, around 80%, and we found South Asia, Indonesia and Malaysia the second, 63. If you found Iraq and other, which we call Levant countries, 60, around 60, and also North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Sudan, Egypt, the fourth, and also we found the Indian area, 56 or 57, and also Turkey and Dual Balkan around 55, and also some Muslim countries like committee 48, and also Central Asia 47, and last West Africa state 40, and last one the Center, South Asia and Western Africa. So these the result of the Awqaf practice in the Muslim world. This is the map of 2023. We found the last one, 2025, we found this map. As you see, we have three categories. The first one in the dark color, as you say, we have in the Arab world, we have in Africa, we have in South Asia, we have in Europe. So therefore, we believe strongly this practice and this experience move very well in the majority of the Muslim world, because we believe this is the era of Awqaf nowadays. Thank you very much for your listening, and I wish I gave you a summary of our lecture, and thank you, brother and sister.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair, Dr. Sami Salahat, for sharing with us the main points of the strategic Waqf report that already issued. So this is the third edition, right, Doctor?
Yes, yeah, right. Yeah.
This is the third edition. Okay.
Yeah. And next time, inshallah, will be in 27, inshallah.
Oh, inshallah. So it will be published like each 2 year, be annually.
2 years, yes, yeah. 21, 23, 21, 23, 25, 27, inshallah.
Yes. So from the beginning, it is already 76 countries that included within the assessment.
Yes, 76, yes, right.
76. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Sami. And I also welcoming everyone here. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand, or you can put your question in the chat box so that I can read it for Dr. Sami. While waiting for the questions, actually, because it is really an important report, and actually I also have some question on it. Maybe you would like to elaborate more regarding the unit of analysis. So as you mentioned that it is in a country level. So how is actually to include the sampled, if you like giving the Saudi, like for example, 9, so it is based on the all institution that is within Saudi, or how is the measurement?
No, actually, in this strategic report, we only were concerning about the public awqaf, which under the government. We don't care about the private awqaf. Maybe you can find the private awqaf is very excellent, but the public awqaf, which belongs or which managed by the government, very bad. So we now in this report we take care only about the public awqaf, which we call government awqaf, which belongs to the government, under the government authority. Yeah, for example, in Saudi Arabia, if you can talking about awqaf, we have two examples, as you know, and as everyone know that. We have public awqaf in every Muslim society. This under the government, and we have public awqaf, private awqaf belongs to the people, university, society. Here in our report, only we concern about the public awqaf, which under the government.
I see. So like, for example, in Indonesia, we already having Indonesian Waqf Board and also the Ministry
Yeah.
of Religious Affairs. So the institutions that included within the report, it is only that is managed by the government only.
Yeah, only by government. Yeah, we don't. Maybe we have the hospital have awqaf and the good example, good
Yes.
governance. Everything. We don't care about. Just we take about the government. We will see the public awqaf. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. Is there any like consideration why it is only the government that is being assessed?
Because if I'm looking for the private awqaf, this huge research. Because for example, many things. For example, in Turkey we have 4,500 private waqf only in Turkey. In Saudi Arabia, maybe we can find 60,000. So private. So if I, to be honest, this is difficult. But we consider about the public awqaf, which we see their annual report, we see their achievement, we see their studies. Therefore, I can give my judge to this experience. But for private, I think it needs other work.
I see, I see. Yes, because actually in Indonesia, we also having Waqaf core principles that is issued by Bank Indonesia and others, and they also having the Waqaf core principle institution implementation index. So it is the unit of analysis is on institutional level. So we can compare the private Waqaf institution here.
Yeah, right, nice.
Dr. Sami, so my next question is like whether all, like for example in Indonesia, if we have two institutions, two authorities, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and the Indonesian Waqf Board, so which one is included? It is the Ministry of Religious Affairs or the Indonesian Waqf Board?
Ministry, yes, right, ministry.
Oh, so in the ministerial level.
Yeah.
Okay, and like for example, in the assessment, you mentioned that the one that maybe we can take a sample on HR efficiency, that it is number one is in Kuwait. So how is actually to know like to make assessment on it? Like it is based on the number or how the number of HR people there or how
for example, if I said I want to study the experience of awqaf in Kuwait or in Qatar or in Indonesia, I have to see by 10 elements: governance, stability, investment, registration. For example, in Indonesia, for example, in Bangladesh only 13% register by the government, and majority of awqaf not registered. This is a bad sign in Bangladesh. How can I know that? By the government, the awqaf government itself, when they issue this information to us, that they say only we register only 13% of awqaf asset in Bangladesh, and majority of awqaf not registered yet. This is very bad example. I can't put Bangladesh in the best example. But if I see in Dubai, or in UAE, if I found majority or 99% of awqaf registered by government, this is a good example. So therefore, I can put UAE or Emirates in the best, in the first category, and Bangladesh in the third category, like this. For example, for example, I talk about the stability. No war. As you see, in Sudan we have war. In Libya we have war. In Syria last time we have war. In Lebanon we have war last time. Iraq, Palestine. So Waqf suffering from this state. Therefore, I can say I can't put, for example, Palestine in the first category because we have good work in Palestine in Awqaf, but the problem of the very important of the very problem for Awqaf in Palestine, the war and under the occupation. Therefore, I can't say Palestine a good example. Yeah.
I see. Yes. Okay. We have questions here in the chat box. So I will read. What is the uniqueness of public waqf for sustainability in your country? Maybe you can share, Dr. Sami.
Unique of public waqf and stability for your. You mean my country? You mean which country?
Maybe where you are in currently? In Jordan?
Yeah, for stability of Awqaf. We found a good example. For example, in Malaysia, we have stability in Malaysia. In Indonesia, we have stability in Indonesia. But when we have war, we have problem, we have anything except stability, we can say we can consider that. And I give example Gaza, for example. Gaza before the war is the best example of Awqaf in Palestine, the whole Palestine. But after the war, everything lost. We said 500 million US dollar the lost of Awqaf sector in Gaza. So this is example. So stability extremely important for Awqaf performance.
Now you are currently in Jordan, Doctor.
Yes, I came from Turkey. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so like is there any like from among the 76 countries, is there any like good example of the uniqueness? I mean, it's like the one that is other than this that maybe having more from this element.
Yeah. Okay, we can't say we have the best example in everything. Yeah, for example, in Saudi Arabia, we can't say Saudi Arabia. Yes, in Saudi Arabia, she got the first degree, or she highest degree in this report. But this does not mean Saudi Arabia in every standard, in every element of this standard. Then we have in this standard, we have 10 elements. We can't say Saudi Arabia full in every element in this standard. Maybe in governance is good, in investment is good, but in the registration of Waqf not good. Maybe we can find Oman better than Saudi Arabia in this point, in this specific point. So, but in general, if I collect these marks, I can say Saudi is the best. But, and for example, in Indonesia, we can say Indonesia is more active in the cash waqf, maybe. But maybe in the register of the asset, to develop all asset of Awqaf in Indonesia, maybe Indonesia has got bad mark. And we have in Indonesia many lands of Awqaf not developed. And this is bad mark of the Muslim in Indonesia. But maybe in Indonesia is good, and maybe in the cash waqf, they collect very well in the cash waqf. So this is way and this is way. So I have, when I give the assessment of the Awqaf in this country or other, I have to take care about all elements, 10 elements. I have to put it in my eyes.
Yes, I see. So from among the 76 countries as well, they already like having the practices both on the movable, including the cash waqf, and also the immovable as well.
Yes. So, and we have different models of Awqaf management, which Awqaf some of them, for example, consider very well about the cash waqf, like in South Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia. Some of them may be very, very a good example of governance, like Morocco, like Turkey, like so everywhere you can find a good practice of Awqaf. Maybe this is in the rules, maybe this is in the investment, maybe this in the cash waqf, and that's it.
I see. Yes. Thank you, Doctor. Other questions, the one that is sent a message to me is regarding the third category. So you mentioned the third category, the first, second, and the third one. So yes, like the second one is like there is I mean, it's like some indicator are available there, but not complete, or how to categorize it is within the second category.
I can't get you again.
You make three category, right, from this report?
Yes.
Yes.
Every report we have three category. Yes.
Yes. Previously, you give example on the first and the third, like if it is like extreme no, you can include it in the third category, and extreme good is in the first category. So the
Right.
second is like the having but not complete, or how the second category?
We put from 7 to 10 first category, 4 to 7 second category, under 4
I
first
see.
category, for the last category.
Yeah.
Based on degree. يعني the first category 7 to 10, second 4 to 7, and third one below 4 to 1. For example, Yemen maybe third category. Why? Because we have war in Yemen, for example, and we have many problems in the Awqaf management in Yemen. So we put Yemen. For example, Tunisia, the last category, because in Tunisia, in North Africa, this country, they cancel the Awqaf rules since 1957 until now. So if you go to the Tunisia, we don't find the title of Awqaf. Only we find Islamic affairs only. No Awqaf issue or no Awqaf practice in Tunisia, because I think President Bourguiba in 1957 canceled and destroyed the Awqaf system in Tunisia. Until today, no Awqaf in Tunisia. For example, this is a bad example. I can't put Tunisia in the second or third because no Awqaf issue in Tunisia.
I see. Meaning the new Waqf? No Waqf?
No register of Awqaf, no system of Awqaf. No Waqf system in Tunisia.
Oh, even if we if we read publication from Prof. Islahi, if I'm not mistaken, mentions that in the past more than half of the Tunisia land was
in 1957. In 1957, the
excuse me, Dr. Sami, I think you are in mute.
I said in 1957, the president of Tunisia, Bourguiba, canceled the Awqaf system in the country. Since that time until today, no Awqaf system in Tunisia.
I see.
So this is example.
Yeah. So how is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see. So in this case, the Tunisia is included in the third category because
right.
Okay, because no Waqf system at all. Okay, so how is actually the trend of this? If we compare, because you already issued third editions last year,
Yes.
so whether the trend is getting better or overall, or
Actually, every 2 years we go to the information and to the annual report of these foundation. We will see what's happened in their practice. Sometimes we found, for example, Algeria in the second edition, it was second category. In the third one, it improved their practice and come the first category. So we will see every 2 years the practice of Awqaf issue in any country. We will see, and we review the report, we review the studies of this country. Therefore, we can give assessment of this country. Indonesia, it's working very well. From our experience, Indonesia is moved very well about the Awqaf sector. Malaysia, also, maybe Singapore also, Brunei traditional until now. So we can say we review the investment issue, we review the governance, we will review the annual report of these country. Then therefore we can give the assessment, inshallah, every 2 years. So we don't care about the country as for example, some country have a huge waqf, like for example like Sudan, or like for example like Egypt, but we don't give him or we don't give this country a good remark because maybe they lost in the governance, no governance. Even this country is the biggest country in the regime. For example, Egypt. Or more in the North Africa, we found Morocco is the best example in the North Africa. Maybe in Africa whole, we can say Morocco is the best example of the awqaf in the whole Africa, or especially in the North Africa. So we looking for the annual report every year about this country.
And the annual report is also like informative enough to give information about the how they manage the waqf asset in the country.
Yeah. This is one indicate. Also, we can see studies. We make a review, or we can make an interview with some expert of awqaf in this country. For example, we can find many. We have network very well in the awqaf foundation in the Muslim world. We contact with them. They give us information. Therefore, we can give the good assessment of this country.
I see. So other than the like secondary data, it's also being like the validated with the interview with the expert in the country.
Yes, right.
Yes. We have several questions in the chat box from Brother Sahwan here. Regarding the gap, between the potential of the waqf and the actual of the waqf, if we compare to the like contribution to the GDP and the macroeconomics and the poverty alleviation. So how do you see this issue? Is this stagnation purely due to the public literacy? So this is the issue of the literacy, people know about waqf but in the limited manner, or is there any actual structural design flaw in the current modern waqf ecosystem?
This is a good question. Actually, nowadays we have some Muslim countries take care about the awqaf income in their countries. Therefore, they take care about how come to improve the awqaf sector to be support for the development of the society in social or in the economic. Therefore, I can give you some example in the Muslim world, like Turkey, like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar. I give you example Qatar. Qatar is a small Muslim country in the Gulf or in the Arab world, maybe 11,000 kilometers only, Qatar. But the asset of awqaf in Qatar around 1.400 million US. 1 billion 400 billion and half US dollar in Qatar. The income of awqaf in Qatar in every year around 70 to 75 millions US. And this is Qatar, a small country, a small country in the Muslim world, 11,000 only kilometers. If you go to the Algeria is the biggest. I think 1 million kilometers in the Arab world, the biggest country space in the Arab world, Algeria, biggest country. But the public awqaf, or public asset of awqaf in Algeria, less than 200 millions. You see, we have a small country, Qatar and Algeria. Algeria, the biggest Muslim or the biggest Arab country in the Arab world. The public awqaf in Algeria around 200 or 250 millions US. In Qatar, very small. The public awqaf in Qatar 1.5 billion. You see this is two example. Therefore, we can say the Awqaf in Qatar, a good example, can support the society very well. We can put it in supporting the development of the financially or the socially or economic. Therefore, this is example.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sami. We have another question from Sister Tias here. So, among the successful Waqf practices in the top-ranked countries that you presented, which one do you think is the most feasible to adapt in developing countries with limited institutional capacity?
Yeah, I can say we have a good example in the Muslim world, especially in the first category. But I can say maybe Saudi Arabia and Turkey nowadays they play very well in Awqaf industry, especially they allowed for the common Muslims, for the Muslim they open the door for Muslim to establish their own Awqaf. The problem in the Muslim, in the Arab or in the Muslim world, the critical point, some Muslim country not allowed, especially the government, not allowed the Muslim to establish their own waqf. They said, if you want to establish awqaf, I have to manage this awqaf. This should be under my authority, under my management. And not Muslim accept this view. Therefore, why we said Saudi Arabia and Turkey is very example, because they allowed to Muslim to establish their own waqf, and they allow them also to manage their own awqaf. And this is the critical point in nowadays. You have right to become as the mutawalli am. Mutawalli am, it means the supervisor, to become the supervisor for the all private awqaf, to become supervisor, to get the annual report from these institutes, from these awqaf. But let the people manage and invest their own awqaf. Therefore, in private awqaf in the Saudi Arabia and in Turkey, they are really a good example in the Muslim world. Therefore, they can help the Muslim society very well. But some Muslim countries, especially maybe in Malaysia, in Indonesia also, maybe in some Arab countries, they don't allow to Muslim to establish their own awqaf and to manage it very well. And this is very, very important, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sami. We have other questions. We have Brother Fahmi here. He is also alumni from IIUM, same school with you from ICOL. Do you want to ask directly? From
Yes.
Fahmi?
From UIA? Yes.
Yes, from UIA as well. From
most
welcome.
yes.
The same kuliah. Okay.
Yes,
so if it is not possible to on microphone, I will read the question. So I think it is like kind of the similar with the previous, but the most innovative, maybe like previous one is the feasible one, but no, Brother Fahmi asks about the most innovative waqaf products that you have come across and how we can replicate in the different countries so that we can unlock the potential of the waqf to ensure the sector can play a bigger role to solve many problems facing by our communities.
This is a question, Brother Safwan.
Brother Fahmi, about the innovative waqaf products.
Wait, which question? I think before, yes, Brother Fahmi. Yes, now I see his question. Could you please share what the most innovative waqf products? Okay, what is okay? Actually, we have many innovative awqaf products in the Muslim world. So listen carefully, Brother Fahmi. We have in each Muslim country a special model. يعني in cash waqf in Indonesia, not like cash waqf in Kuwait. Fund of awqaf in Algeria, not fund of awqaf in Morocco. This belongs to the rules, to the law, legislation. So what is allowed in Malaysia maybe is not allowed to Kuwait. So each country, and as you know, awqaf is more flexibility. If you read the Islamic rules. If you read the Ahkam Sharia, how to understand the awqaf Islamically, you can say awqaf, it has more flexibility to understand and to practice. Therefore, this belongs to the rules, belongs to the tools in your country. Therefore, I can make my model, my own model in Turkey. I can also make my own model in Indonesia. For example, in Indonesia, may be difficult for me to establish Waqf Bank because the rules or the government not allowed to establish a bank of Awqaf. But in Turkey, I can establish bank of Awqaf. Therefore, yeah, for example, bank of Awqaf is very more important for the Awqaf industry, for Awqaf institute in the country. In Turkey, allowed. But in Indonesia, maybe it's difficult. Maybe in Indonesia, in Malaysia, it's difficult. But in Turkey, it's allowed. So different model. Therefore, maybe you in your own country, you use maybe cash waqf in your own way. But in Turkey, maybe they use their own cash waqf in other way by waqf bank. So therefore, I can say each country has own practice. But I can get, what can I do? I can get the benefit from this practice and try to transfer to my country to practice what can consider in my own rules, my own tools.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sami. Alhamdulillah, we are in Indonesia currently having the act that enable bank to manage Waqf. So it's
Yeah,
already issued in 3 years ago, but up to
yeah.
now, there have not been the Islamic bank that becoming,
Okay,
yes, managing
okay.
Waqf. Yes, but this is also like becoming the other curiosity. So do you think that it is a good example or a good practices if bank manage the Waqf?
Yes, yeah. There's a good example, good support for Awqaf issue. Yes, yes. Very important to any Muslim country has fund or bank to
Mm-hmm.
support the Awqaf project in country. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Because here actually we still having a pro and cons.
yeah,
The teams that promotes the banks to manage the Waqf argue that we have the bank already having a good governance, so it is a good, and they also already having a good network
yeah,
to for the potential clients becoming a potential Waqif. But other people thinks that Islamic Bank even is a profit institution. So even it is Islamics, they have aims to make a lot of profit. So they
yeah.
like uh, having a concern if the Waqf later on becoming a, like something commercialized and like less yes, not that kind of, yeah, good. So
Right.
this is still a pro and cons here in Indonesia. We have other questions here again from Brother Safwan regarding the, if you can read in the chat box. So regarding the global wakaf. So maybe there is a scenario where the like foreign wakif, like give wakaf to the country, but how if it is like about the legal risk, about the geopolitical tension? Are there strong international legal safeguard to ensure that wakaf assets are not says nationalized? So
Uh,
if it is like maybe cross-country wakaf, how do you see this one to
uh,
for the risk mitigation?
Cross Waqf, this is it practiced before. يعني for
Mhm.
example, practice for the Holy Mosque in Mecca and Medina and Al-Quds, Jerusalem. Last time, the Muslim, the old Muslim, or the يعني beginning after Prophet Muhammad time, we can consider awqaf or cross waqf in the world, like Muslim in Indonesia support awqaf in Mecca and Medina or in Quds, or Muslim in North Africa support the Holy Mosque, or even in the education. Sometimes we can find waqf in Al Azhar in Egypt get fund from awqaf in Morocco, or get fund from awqaf from Turkey. That's it. So we can consider this awqaf across awqaf in the world, especially in the Muslim world, because nowadays we have many Muslim society need to get support, especially in Quds, Gaza, Many Muslims need really support. So we can consider this concept across awqaf in the world, especially to become Muslim. As you know, Muslim is إنما المؤمنون إخوة. They are Muslim. They are the one unit. So we can do that. Yes, we can do that. But the problem, as you know, the problem in the political, sometimes we can't accept this kind of awqaf. But in fact, Muslim in the past, they practiced this very well. Yeah. But we can do that again, inshallah.
And also, do you observe like this kind of similar practices from the 76 countries that you assess here, like the cross countries waqf?
Until now, yeah, we have, like in Al-Quds, we have many Muslim countries establish awqaf in their own countries and support Al-Quds, but need these awqaf. Yeah, for example, we have awqaf in Algeria, specialist for Al-Quds mosque in Palestine. We have awqaf in Turkey, a specialist for Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine. So we can do that, yes. Until now, we have this kind of example, yes. But this is not very well, yeah. But we found, yes.
Dr. Sami, as you mentioned, the waqf in Palestine, and because of the war, like it lost a lot of the more than 500 million. So it is in the Gaza itself or all Palestine?
No, only in Gaza itself, only in Gaza. And this is only during this war, yes. After 7 October 2023,
Yes.
the awqaf sector in Gaza destroyed completely and lost more than $500 assets, mosque, buildings. So all majority of awqaf, our asset of awqaf already mostly destroyed by the Israeli occupation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Around
what is
5.5 billion, yes. Half billion.
what is the majority waqf asset there in Gaza? Is this like something like having a revenue streams or like?
Yes, buildings like mosque, like firms, like investment project, everything already.
I see. And about the other regions, like the other Palestinian regions, so the waqf asset is still there as well up to now. Other than
Yeah. As you know, we have two parts in Palestine, one under the Israeli occupation, and this is around 78% of the Palestinian, the whole Palestine. This is under the Israeli occupation. And we have West Bank and Gaza. Gaza already destroyed, and West Bank also under the Israeli authority. So mostly the awqaf in Palestine is suffering very bad from the Israeli occupation.
I see. Yeah. To hear that. Okay, we have two remaining questions. One from Brother Rikwan here about the management of the waqf is really dependent on the administrator. So how do you see the competence of administrator in several countries?
Since 1993, many Muslim countries, that's why we select independence of the Awqaf Institute. Many Muslim countries believe we must give important role of Awqaf Institute in their country. In 1993, Kuwait established Al-Aman Al-Amma Al-Awqaf. Now, if you go and visit Kuwait, you can find two title name of Awqaf. One belongs to the ministry, which we call وزارة الأوقاف والشؤون الإسلامية. This is Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs. And this is government institute, or government foundation, consider about the mosque, about the teaching, and that's it. But we have other institute, and that's why we said very important to independence of the Awqaf. Other institute we established in 1993, which we call Al-Aman Al-Amma Al-Awqaf, a public Awqaf foundation. And this is only concerned about Awqaf asset, how to manage and invest Awqaf. Therefore, this model to give full independence of Awqaf authority to work very well, just to manage and invest Awqaf, this one is very positive for Awqaf issue in the country. Therefore, since 1993, many Muslims in the Arab world follow the Kuwait model. In Kuwait in 1993, Jordan in 2001, Dubai in 2005, Saudi Arabia in 2016. Saudi Arabia, we have majority, which we call Islamic Affairs and Awqaf Ministry. Nowadays, if you go to Saudi Arabia, only we have authority just for Awqaf, which we call Al-Hay'a Al-'Amma Al-Awqaf, a public authority of Awqaf in Saudi Arabia. Just only consider about Awqaf, not related to the Islamic affairs or to the schools, only for Awqaf. Therefore, we believe strongly. That's why we give independence of Awqaf Institute as the element of this standard. We believe strongly you should give full authority, full independence of Awqaf authority to manage very well of Awqaf, not to be traditional like other Muslim country.
I see. Yes, agree with that. I have one question that sends to me directly. So we have discussion on the Waqf related to the current issue. So looking ahead, which innovations that you believe will have greatest impact on the future of Waqf, whether digitalization or maybe AI or maybe blended finance?
Yes, can we do that very well? And we believe strongly Awqaf can share in welfare in any committee. Nowadays, Awqaf has a big role in some Muslim countries, like in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Kuwait. So we can accept a good rules of Awqaf institutions in this country.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sami. So I think we already answered all questions. Here additional one question from Sister Raska regarding the productive wakaf. Do you see that how it can improve the community welfare and reduce poverty?
As I said, by stakeholders. Awqaf not working alone, should working with the stakeholders in the private or with also public sector. يعني can the Awqaf Institute work with the any partners from the public or from the private, and can work together to support any committee they need. Therefore, we have many products issue in many Muslim countries, in many Muslim society by stakeholders. Yeah, for example, if I want to help Muslims, especially, for example, to marriage, how can I work as the Awqaf Institute? I can work with the Ministry of the, for example, for the Ministry of Women, for example, if we have Ministry of Women or with the youth. If I want to, for example, help poor people, I have to work with the Zakah, for example, foundation, or I have to work with the charity foundation. So therefore, we can work by stakeholders because we believe Awqaf not alone. Awqaf should work with the private and sector and with the public sectors.
Yes, agree with that. Thank you so much, Dr. Sami. I think we are going to the end of this session. Is it possible to ask one more questions? I think here we have other one from Brother Fahmi. So the establishment of the endowment in many universities. So is there any insight from you why the endowment at many universities in Muslim countries not able to follow the successful endowment in the Western countries, and how we can remedy this sorry state of affairs? The question from Brother Fahmi, last question in the chat box.
Sure. We did many programs in Awqaf University in the last 5 years ago. And also I wrote many research about Awqaf University in the Muslim world. Nowadays, we have a good example, especially in Saudi Arabia, Awqaf University in Saudi Arabia. In Malaysia, we have 20 public universities. In Malaysia, 19 of 20 has awqaf, and this is a good indicate. Yani 20 public university, because the Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia, they put strategy for this university in 2015 until 2025. Therefore, among 20 public university in Malaysia, government university in Malaysia, 20. Nowadays, we have 19 university have awqaf funds, and this is a good index. In Saudi Arabia, majority of majority of the university in Saudi Arabia has awqaf or has department of awqaf. Turkey, we have 78 university from 216 university, awqaf university, and 78 waqf university from 216 university. These numbers help us to say we must take care about the university sector. In Indonesia, I don't know how many awqaf university, but I believe strongly university should follow the awqaf system in their rules. But we already, awqaf university start working in the Muslim world since 15 years ago. But we have the old example like Al-Azhar, like Al-Zaytuna. This is the old example. But nowadays we have many public university follow the awqaf system in their system.
Yes, and maybe we need to ensure that the Waqf asset is also managed by the professional, right? So that it can
Yes.
more
Yeah, right.
sustainable, like giving a good revenue. Because actually, if it is a giving scholarship or like university-based Waqf, meaning that it will be like the cost for to run the education,
Yes.
the university, right? So we need like sustainable revenue pipeline
Yeah.
for. Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Sami, for sharing with us the valuable insight about the report, and then answer all the questions that our brother and sister here raised in the chat box. Thank you so much, and we're really thankful for having this opportunity, having these discussions. And on behalf of Waqf Center for Indonesian Development and Studies, I'd also thank you all the participants here. Maybe we can have a group photo session before we end the Zoom. So if you are possible to open your camera, please open your camera. And the committee already shared the attendance list. So the certificate will be sent to your email for those who already fill in the attendance list. And we will also seek your permission, Dr. Sami, to upload this recording in the YouTube so that maybe more people can benefit and also can listen, although not live in this time, but maybe they can catch up the discussion. Okay, is there any other that would like to open your camera? If no, I will count down. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, maybe one more. I noticed some people are opening the camera. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. So as we come to the end of the sessions, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to all the Dr. Sami, especially the Prof. Radit previously that give the welcoming remarks, and all the participants for joining up to the end of the sessions. We hope that today's discussion have provided a valuable insight, and we are looking forward for the upcoming edition of the report as well. And may Allah bless us our effort and get us in utilizing our Waqf, and we can also contribute to improve and also mainstreaming the Waqf again in our era. Hopefully with our own capacity, we can collaborating, and also we can contribute to make Waqf becoming more beneficial and more contributing also to our Muslim Ummah, inshallah. So I end the session. So, Apologies for any inconvenience and see you again inshallah in other session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Sami.
Thank you. Thanks, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.